Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe.
Hello and welcome to WrestleRamble. This is Luke Owen, probably doing some silly faces as I do the intro. I'm Ollie Davis, and today we're going to be talking about our predictions for Great Balls of Fire, which is this Sunday. Now, there's no timestamps or anything to click because we're just going to go straight into it. That's the perks of recording on 3 separate days this week.
It's been nice, hasn't it?
We run out of ramble.
Yeah, there is nothing else to talk about.
That's a lie. We could probably totally ramble. Actually, should we remind people what this is for? So we're going through our predictions, and this is part of a larger monthly battle between myself and Luke, and that is whoever has the most overall victories. So that's for Fantasy Warfare.
Mm-hmm.
Who wins those? For, don't know, maybe we'll have a thumb wrestling match on an episode.
Yep.
And these predictions, whoever has the most overall victories by the end of the month, they get to either retain the Money in the Bank briefcase, not Lunchbox. That would be me. Or Luke might win it and he gets to find out the thing that is in my briefcase that could ruin me. The scandal. So it's high stakes.
There is high stakes, mate. This feels like this is the first time where these predictions feel like they actually matter, as opposed to it just being filler for us to fill out video content with.
Not filler. It's a dance as old as wrestling content itself. Predictions.
I genuinely love doing prediction shows.
Do you?
I genuinely do. I like doing predictions.
I do because it's easier. We don't have to. You just say who's going to win this match.
Mm-hmm.
This, and I think this will happen. Whereas all the other stuff we have to prepare quite avidly for it.
Yeah, we have to watch things.
Yeah. This is high stakes.
Yes.
I think that could be a pay-per-view name.
Stakes, a bit like Fully Loaded back in the day.
I wouldn't want it to be called High Stakes.
WWE
kind of
High
awful.
Stakes.
Yeah. And what would the weird tagline be to make sure people watch it?
Because that's what.
Yeah, that's the
what
selling point.
It's not actually that it's a WWE pay-per-view or network special. It's the tagline. It's the ultimate thrill ride that made people watch WrestleMania.
It's fantasy booking warfare come real.
Yes.
Gone real? Can't remember.
Come to life.
So, let's kick off with the kickoff.
Yes.
How is this on the kickoff show?
I'm really disappointed that Neville versus Akira Tozawa.
I was going to make a joke.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say Brock Lesnar versus
Samoa
Joe,
you see, the problem is this is what happens when we don't prep things. And so Neville versus Akira Tozawa is on the kickoff for the Cruiserweight Championship. What a disappointment that these two are on the kickoff.
Yeah.
When, I'll be honest, I could have actually just done with Bray and Seth on the kickoff.
One of these two men is a member of Titus Worldwide. How O'Neill didn't negotiate a placing higher up the card for Tozawa.
But what are you feeling for the match?
The power of Tozawa. Well, seeing that it's on the pre-show, I don't think Neville's losing the belt.
No, it's a bit of a signpost that Neville is retaining, yeah.
Which is a shame because the way Titus built this up, and you had the VIP slot next to one of the matches that Neville had recently on Raw, a little VIP area that Akira Tozawa sat in with a suit, and he stood next to Neville afterwards. It kind of had a sporting feel, which is what I really enjoy when they do it in professional wrestling. And Titus was hyping it up as there's the Neville level, and then there's the power of Tozawa. Ha, ha, ha. So
Yeah.
I was into it. I think they're going to have a cracking match because Neville can't have anything but.
Nope.
And Tozawa is very, very good as well.
He is awesome and a handsome dude.
And he can get people into the match.
Yes.
So the danger is, maybe that won't be the case with a kickoff match, but as I said yesterday, when those ropes go on, your mouths go stum.
Yes.
So Tozawa's very good at getting the crowd into the action with essentially by laughing at them.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Ha! Ha! Ha!
So you're going Neville, right?
Yes, I'm going to go Neville.
Yeah, I am too. I don't think it can really go any other way on this one. But I suppose the question is that who is going to take the belt off Neville eventually when the time is right?
Yeah, well, maybe a returning Austin Aries. He hasn't been seen since he was
is
smiling
he injured?
weirdly. Yes, that he's taken time off for injury. He said that in an interview, like, I'm going to take some time off because I've got a few injuries. Nothing more than anyone else in the back, but, you know.
Yeah.
And then, like, lots of places ran with the story, us included. Austin Aries taking time off for injury. And then he gets annoyed saying, well, I didn't say that. And then a few days later he says, yeah, I'm taking time off for injury. So I don't know if Aries is just being a troll.
He's just being a troll to you, mate.
Because he does do that sometimes. I remember his Art of Wrestling podcast with Colt Cabana. And he was just trolling most things and fans and letters and whatever Colt said.
What a great man.
Yeah, he's a fantastic
What a great
guy.
man. Right, so let's actually go to the main card now, the meat and two veg of Great Balls of Fire. So should we kick off with Enzo v Casshole?
Yeah.
Good
build.
What are your feelings on this?
Well, I don't think it should have happened. At all.
No.
They are just over a year into their main roster run. But people talking about a Bayley heel turn now. Maybe that's the sort of thing you talk about in 3, 4, 5 years' time for these NXT call-ups. To massively revamp their characters with a heel turn or a split, and then heel turn for Cass, obviously. You shouldn't be doing that so early on in their partnership. They haven't even won the tag team titles yet.
And they never will.
They never will. Think of all the stories that now cannot be told with Enzo and Cass. It's a real shame.
They are a victim of the brand split. Of the bland split.
The bland spritz.
The bland sprit.
Sprit.
Yes.
The spritzer. The bland spritzer.
The bland sprit. So really, it's a lack of depth. It's a lack of teams for them to face off against. So they're just breaking them up, and they are a long list of breakups this year. We've had DIY breakup, you've had the Festival of Friendship, you've had Goldust and R-Truth split up. We're now getting the Hype Bros splitting up. Enzo and Cass are split up. There's not enough teams. So when they're like, we've got nothing for them, we'll just have them face each other then.
Yeah.
And I think it's really short-sighted. But that's as I said, they're victims of the bland sprit.
I can't even accidentally say what you're saying. There's too much wrong with it. Bland split sounds good.
Yeah.
But the sprit part.
Yeah, but you got to take the BR.
Bland sprit.
Yeah.
I think the build, however, has been very good.
Yes, I agree.
For Enzo and Casshole.
Yeah. Although I'm disappointed that they're having a match, their first match at Great Balls at the Great British Bake Off. I'd much rather say Casshole takes out Enzo the week before, completely decimated him, or a couple of weeks before when they did the breakup, and then Enzo's not seen on TV, and then Cass essentially does the Braun Strowman, I want some competition.
Yeah.
And then you could have had Enzo against Big Show maybe. Because Big
You
Show
mean
was
Cass against Big Show.
Sorry, yes, Cass versus Big Show, because you had Big Show was involved in their breakup.
Yeah.
And then you could have had a Giant versus Giant match at Great Balls of Fire, put Cass over strong so that he can get a good first win under his belt as a single star, and then build to the Enzo Cass match at SummerSlam, because you feel like it would be more of a SummerSlam match.
So, you've just identified the difference between what we would like, because I would put Cass into the Intercontinental title. I'd make that a 3-way or a 4-way, whatever to dilute Dean Ambrose and The Miz.
Yeah.
And so we would like that sort of thing. You hold off the big emotional feud end to SummerSlam, the bigger show with Enzo and Cass. But I think Vince McMahon is just like, oh God, this Enzo guy's annoying and he's small and I want Cass. So let's do that. Let's wrap that up as quickly as possible, and then we can do Cass versus Big Show at SummerSlam.
Oh,
everyone wants to see that because they're big and they can slam each other.
Yeah.
People like more money, more bang for the buck.
Exactly. They want more slams from big dudes.
Yeah. Maybe we can make the ring break. Maybe we can do a spot where one of them is standing at the barricade in the timekeeper's area and then moves out the way.
Oh, right. Oh, mate. Yeah.
As
Shake
the
it
other
up a little
one
bit.
charges towards them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what is your prediction for this match then?
Well, you go first this time.
I'm actually going for a no contest.
Strong.
Because I think they are going to do... sorry, you stood right on my headphone wire, then pulled my head down. I think they are going to do the Enzo Cass rematch at SummerSlam, but add a stipulation to it, like a street fight or a no-holds-barred, or as Shane McMahon once referred to it, as a no-holds-barred match.
No holes.
Yes, no-holds-barred
No
match.
Cass holes barred.
So I think it's going to end up in a no contest. Maybe it'll just be a double count out, or Cass will beat Enzo down
Sounds
too
like
much. The great Canzo.
Yeah.
So Cass will beat Enzo down too much, and the referee will disqualify him or something of that nature. But I think more or less it'll end up in a no contest and then build towards a rematch at SummerSlam.
That's good. I like that.
Thank you.
But I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're rushing through this so Cass can look strong.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say that you're wrong, nor will I be surprised when you're eventually right.
But I don't want to play it safe either. So you're saying draw. Mm-hmm. I think usually you get the worst odds on a draw.
I think
it's just I've got money in the bank here, and we didn't point out earlier. I'm already 1 down, so it's 1-0 to you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because I got my rubbish Kurt Angle fantasy booking warfare beat your pretty good one.
It wasn't rubbish. It just wasn't as
good as yours.
Good. But the people spoke.
The universe spoke.
Sometimes democracy doesn't work. Plato didn't like democracy.
Did he not?
No, and they were Greeks.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go for Enzo. No, good
Lord.
I didn't want the secret to get out. So I'm going for Cass. Now.
Okay.
I'm going for a Cass hole victory. No holds barred.
No holds barred match.
So that was one of the things when I was a kid that I didn't hear the separate words, and I thought it was like a no holds bar.
Oh right.
No, and I couldn't quite figure out what the stipulation was.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a way to say extreme match.
Yeah. Well, essentially, they can sort of have 4 different names for the same thing, because you have like an Extreme Rules match, you have a street fight, you have a no holds barred match, and
no DQ
a no DQ match. But there are 4 names for the same thing. And then have we said street fight? I'm not sure if I've said street fight in all of that either. I might have said that one. But then you've got like depending on where you are, a Chicago street
location,
fight, a Toronto street fight. Yeah. They are inevitably very different. A Halloween street fight. Remember when they did that? At,
seasonal things.
Exactly, seasonal ones, yeah.
Yeah, Christmas tree.
Eric Rowan had to hold the pumpkin on his head, yeah.
I remember quite a good spot from last year's Raw Christmas show, or maybe it was SmackDown, because Cena, there were all those presents at ringside, and he was like pointing at them to use them. And actually, I can't remember how that spot ends.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up then.
That's an interesting story. Sheamus.
Maybe I'll cover that on a future Remember When episode.
Yeah. Remember when? No, I can't.
Oh no,
either,
I can't remember it. No.
There's a cheap plug for Luke's first full-time video coming up at the weekend.
That's right.
What's it about? Give the people a tease.
I actually put a tease out on Twitter today of what it could be about.
What was it? What was the?
I put a photo of the screen with one of the quotes, which was Shawn Michaels telling Chris Jericho not to call a certain someone boring.
That's a good quote. You didn't get your whole screen in shot, did you? With all the separate tabs.
No. I don't.
I don't want to give away the tabs.
Nor do I want to do a JBL. You remember that?
Yeah, Kapsalova nude.
Yeah.
She's, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but wow, that's a very, not many women look like that.
No, I don't even know who she is or what she looks like.
She's like a really, the most extreme form of female bodybuilder I've ever seen.
Oh wow!
There's no breasticles there to enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
muscle.
It's pretty much a man, a really muscly man with a lady kind of face, bronzed all over, and obviously, I presume, lady parts.
Yes. So you can see why JBL and Vince get on so well then. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on from that. Let's talk about this Iron Man tag team match for the Raw tag team titles between Shamaro and the Hardys. Hardys probably not going to be broken anytime soon, going by the news today.
No.
What are you thinking?
So 30 minutes, as many falls as you possibly can in 30 minutes. Kind of like, we should call it an Iron Man month, because that's kind of the stipulation what we're going for.
I suppose it is, yeah.
For the Raw tag team titles.
Mm-hmm.
So Hardys lost at Extreme. They lost the belts at Extreme Rules.
Yes.
Has there been a pay-per-view since then?
No, but they did have a match on Raw. Remember, they did the 2 out of 3 falls, and it ended with a schmoz finish because it was the NBA Finals week.
That was a good match until then.
Yes, it really was.
I don't think now's the time to take the belts off Sheamus and Cesaro.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's an Iron Man match, you can do it in a way that protects the losing team.
Yes.
I'm going to go for a Sheamus win.
I'm also going for a Sheamus win. As an added thing on there, I think it's going to go past the 30-minute mark.
Oh, yeah?
And then I think Sheamus will cheat to win. Because that protects the Hardys. That's not 2 straight losses on the bounce for them. They look good in defeat. That's how I think that they'll play this.
How about the Revival getting involved?
Yeah, and actually that'd be good because that can get the Hardys away from the tag team picture and then move a different team into the tag team title hunt with Sheamus. Who would that be though? Because I can't think what other tag teams they've got.
Well, no Enzo and Cass anymore. Gallows and Anderson, but they're heels.
Yeah, but they've been doing babyface stuff on the house shows and on main events.
They would. Oh, was it on main event as well?
They're not main event as well. They faced off against the Revival actually, and they played babyfaces on there.
Interesting.
And
God, why can't WWE just stick to the good thing?
And who else is a face on the Raw roster? And
Fid.
And Fid, yes, Fid currently is a babyface, but so's Finn as well, Finn Balor. Yeah, so perhaps they could do something there.
I don't know. It is a bit of a. The tag team division is very weak there, isn't it?
And I could see them doing something with, so like perhaps at SummerSlam you could do Finn, or you could do essentially the club. So you could do Finn with Galanderson against Sheamus and the Drifter in a 6-man tag.
Oh yeah, that could work.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good spot match for them.
I don't really want to see that, but I guess that's something they could do based on who they have and the corners they've booked themselves into.
Exactly. That also slots Finn firmly into the mid card, which is clearly where they want him.
We made a mistake at the last pay-per-view, although it actually came off quite well. A lot of people criticised our predictions by going, "You've just booked all the heels to win."
Oh yeah, I remember.
And then all the heels did win.
Yeah.
So we were actually pretty on it there. The Usos retained, although they got counted out.
Yeah.
It seems to be going a
Naomi
similar
won.
way.
She was the only babyface to win.
It seems to be going a similar way here. Neville retains, Cass beats up Enzo, or Enzo comes out losing whatever way. Sheamus retain.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to do a spoiler for the next match, but I'm also going to predict that a heel wins here as well.
So Miz versus Dean Ambrose
in a match I could not care less about.
It could be Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt.
Well, I suppose there is that. Yeah, I mean, am I more interested? What a great question. Am I more interested in Seth versus Bray than I am Dean versus Miz?
I'm going to chuck Randy and Jinder into the mix as well.
Yeah, but at least Randy versus Jinder's got that wacky stipulation that we've not seen in 10 years. So there's at least that.
I guess so.
And that has got steel enforced bamboo. So, top marks for that one at least.
So is that inside the bamboo they put the steel?
I guess so. I don't really know.
Or did they coat a seed of bamboo in steel and grow it with metal? And it's
like a mad
fusion.
Scientist type thing. Yeah, that probably is what it is.
Crazy over there.
But yeah, I'm not interested. I wish this was the triple threat that you and I talked about on the last Ramble.
Or chuck Cass in there.
Or just anything to freshen it up. I hope this is the end now. That this 8-month feud ends here. It has to end here. I can't stomach another. This can't go to SummerSlam. And I am going with The Miz to retain, only because I think Dean doesn't need the title. The title does nothing for Dean, or vice versa. And The Miz has just got the Miz-tourage.
Yeah, he's got all the stuff going.
He's got all the stuff going for him. Plus, I would love to see my next dream feud for the Intercontinental title is The Miz versus Goldust.
It's not happening.
It could happen. Why is that not happening?
It's not happening. They don't see him in that.
No, totally. They're going to give Goldust his last run. Once he gets this R-Truth stuff out of the way, he needs a good program. This is going to be his last hurrah, which this appears like it is. Give him a good chase for the title against The Miz. I think that'd be great TV.
It would be. I don't think they're going to do it. So you're going to go for Miz.
I'm unfortunately going for Miz, yeah. In a really boring match that I'm going to really struggle to pay attention to.
Can we do all of the predictions and then have the option to go back and change a few?
I think we have done it.
We book all heels.
We may have done in the past. Technically, I've not booked all heels because I've booked a draw.
Because I'm also going for Miz, damn it.
Yeah.
Well, at least we haven't done the same. There's the option there.
Yeah.
So next up, Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's Championship.
Yeah.
The War Women's Championship.
The War Women's.
I mean, I'm not excited about a lot of the undercard. Now I'm looking at it.
Yeah, there's a handful of matches on this that I'm actually interested in, and one of those is on the bloody pre-show.
And I was thinking, Great Balls of Fire, for whatever reason, they want to make that an annual name and a thing and an established brand. I thought they would have done more for it. I guess the top 2 matches are very, very big.
Do you know what I really hope for this pay-per-view? Just to go off a little bit off topic
Sure.
on this match prediction here. I would like to see them really embrace the 50s theme of it. Put like almost like Cadillac bars around the Titantron.
Race segregation.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else in the 50s?
Well, I was just thinking, like, have the commentators not in just like regular suits and
like
stuff,
big
but like
collars.
big collars and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, really embrace that. Make it look like it's like Back to the Future, essentially. That's what I'd really like to see.
All milkshakes on the commentary desk.
Yes, exactly. I would like to see the wrestlers being accompanied by waitresses on roller skates.
Yeah,
I'd love to see that. Because
or
like,
just driving in on cool Cadillacs and classic cars.
Totally. Like, because otherwise it's just like. It's just a show otherwise with a stupid name.
I just so you could go that way. By the way, obviously I don't approve of race segregation. I was just making an obscene joke.
It was a very good joke
based on WWE's potentially harmful backstage politics. But what I would have, you could go the 50s route of set dressing, or what I think they should do, just have 2 massive balls on fire to the right of the stage.
Yeah. Or like, do you remember the
like precariously balanced?
Yeah.
Any moment it could roll into Michael Cole.
I want like the Backlash 2000 set when they had the pincers, like swinging like that,
yeah.
but like that, but with with like wrecking balls essentially.
And so maybe someone could get on it for a spot.
Yep. Cash can swing into it. Like,
well, you would push the Enzo. This is probably how Enzo's going to
Yeah.
end. So Enzo's just passed out at the bottom of the ramp next to the ring, so he's propped up by the apron, and Cass just gets him. Oh my god, what's he doing? He gets the giant ball of fire, just rolls it towards Enzo. It slowly comes, and that's how you write Enzo off telly.
Well, see, I would have done it in the Roman ambulance match, because then you can put someone into the ambulance and then swing it into the ambulance, because that's one step up from just tipping it over with your bare hands.
I feel like when I was a teenager and I first got what was it, SmackDown Just Bring It for the PlayStation, and you could do all those insane stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a table on top of a table, and okay, it's not letting me put another table on top of that. It's kind of glitching out now. I'm gonna try though. I'm gonna spend the next 3 hours trying. No, it doesn't work. Just all the insane stuff you can do.
But anyway, so Alexa Bliss,
I don't want
Sasha
to
Banks.
talk about this now.
Okay, so I mean,
I'm bored by that match.
We're
And
going to be.
look at the next match: Seth
I
Rollins
know.
and Bray Wyatt.
And here we are again talking about Heelermania, heels running wild.
Yeah.
I'm going with Alexa Bliss in this one as well, because I think she's going to be facing Nia Jax at SummerSlam.
That's the way the storyline's going. Let's get this out of the way. I completely agree with you. We're both going Alexa Bliss.
Yes.
Can we get back to fantasy book in the second?
Well, to be honest, I would rather talk about that than Seth versus Bray, because, man, is there been a less heated feud all year than Seth v Bray for top guys? And not only that, top guys, and one of which is the cover star of 2K18.
Hashtag top guys.
Yeah, top guys out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a real shame. Yeah. Like, whatever happened, they must have had something planned back at Extreme Rules. And Braun Strowman going out with injury has changed all that. And Finn Balor doesn't have a match on this show.
Yep.
He's without a direction. The Braun Strowman Roman Reigns ambulance match was what was going to happen at Extreme Rules. That's just been moved here. Who knows what was going to happen?
Who knows?
I was watching Seth Rollins when he cut his promo on Raw. And I just thought, man, you are saying all the right things, but you're not connecting. It's because of the manner in which he came back after injury. He should have just been hit the ground as a babyface. I apologise for all my actions, and now I'm taking down the authority. But he didn't do that. He was a halfway house for so long, and no one really buys into him now. But he's doing everything else right. I think a couple of months off, come back, all white. You know, that wicked WrestleMania suit, and you just call him the Fallen Angel. Give him
Like Chris Daniels?
Fallen Angel gimmick, and just like Angel of Vengeance. Yeah, that's a better one because he just.
Okay, problem is though he can't take time off. He's the cover star of 2K18.
But that isn't going to go on sale until November.
Yeah, no, but like
so
2K, but don't 2K games do a lot of stuff around SummerSlam? Isn't like that part of like their big, like that's kind of like their big launch thing?
Yeah,
and then Survivor Series is like the real big.
With the legend, you've got Kurt Angle who's going to be there. Surely he can do a lot of stuff. You didn't have Goldberg around for all the promotion over summer last year.
No, but that's kind of one of the bonuses of having a part timer or an old star on the covers. You don't need them around all the time. But when Seth Rollins is your cover star, you need him there kind of all the time to be propping up the company, I suppose.
But I just don't care about the match. I'm just trying to make this bit interesting.
Who do you think's going to win though?
Seth.
You think you're going Seth? I see. Do you know what? Do you know what my worry is?
Seth.
Do you know what my worry is? And I'm not going Heelemania here, but do you know what my worry is? Bray is going to win, and this feud must continue. And they're going to have a rematch at SummerSlam.
There's no beef there. There's nothing. There's no title involved. There's no blood feud. Bray essentially just cuts promos in the desert or backstage, going, "I'm gonna beat you," and Seth goes, "I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're coming after me, but I'm going to prove you're not great, and I'm going to beat you." I don't care.
Yeah. No,
like, Seth's a very good wrestler, but I'm not interested in his character. I'm interested in Bray's character, but I've been taught not to get excited about his matches, conditioned to not care, because he always loses and he never backs up his chat. I don't think it's going to change here. Oy vey.
Mate, do you know what? I'm going Bray. Because
you should go Bray.
I'm going Bray, and here's...
I want to keep the secret protected.
Well, here's why. Here's why I'm going Bray. I do think they're going to have a rematch at SummerSlam, because if they're not having a rematch at SummerSlam, I don't know where either guy is going.
Well, Bray was originally working towards Finn Balor a few months ago.
Yeah, but that sort of like dropped dead, really, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think that's because of Braun's injury.
Braun's injury. I don't know. I don't want Bray winning because I don't want this feud to continue, but I think it will.
Good, because like I said, I want to win the predictions. So one of the matches that will be quite fun, hopefully a big spot fest. Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman in an ambulance match.
Yep. Ambulance matches are usually pretty rubbish, but I like both guys. I think both guys can really go, and they like to just beat the holy F out of each other. So I think it's going to be great. It's just going to be two big dudes beating the dog piss out of each other, and it's going to be pretty entertaining.
I think it's quite obvious now that backstage management says, "Okay, agents, everyone planning out the matches, save all the good bits for Braun," because he gets really cool moments. He's got, the one where he threw Roman Reigns off the what was it, kind of like ledge outside, wasn't it? Before that whole ambulance tipping fiasco.
Effed him off the edge.
"I'm not finished with you" bit. He got the ring break spot this week's rather, when he kicked Apollo Crews off a moonsault in midair.
It's going to take something pretty spectacular to top that as a moment that makes me mark out as much.
I mean, maybe it'll be within a Superman punch or a spear if Braun just boots him.
I'll be so great. Do you want to go first?
I went first for the last one, so
okay.
I'll let you go.
I'm going Roman. I think Roman is winning this, especially if it is going to be Roman Lesnar at SummerSlam. You can't be having Brawny the Strowman win.
I completely agree. Oh, blimey. Did that just pop for you?
It did pop for me, yeah.
I completely agree. I think it's also going to be Roman Reigns.
So I'm not going Heelemania completely.
And I guess maybe because it's an ambulance match, Braun can lose and kind of be protected.
Yeah. What are you thinking for Braun at SummerSlam?
Well, if he's not facing Brock anymore, maybe Brock takes on Joe. Braun versus Balor. Braun versus Seth. Those are your top baby faces.
I suppose, yeah.
Joe's not really a babyface. He is to me. Speaking of, Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe for the Universal Championship, the main event.
My level of unexcitement for Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt is the polar opposite for how I feel about Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar. I am stoked for this match. It's gonna be. I don't want to try and overhype it in my mind, but I just got the feeling this is gonna be awesome.
It's had a great build.
Yep.
They are both very good big match wrestlers.
Absolutely, they're both awesome.
They've both got really strong characters.
Mm-hmm.
I just like it when two tough guys fight.
Yeah.
I don't, like I said on the WrestleRamble on Wednesday, I don't mind it when people were like, I'm going to try and outsmart you, or I'm going to try and do this. I just like two guys going, I hate you, and I want the belt. Yeah, I want the belt. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
That's
colliding like two great balls of fire.
I think that's the scientific way of describing that storytelling.
That's pretty much how Vince books things, I think.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. Just two guys, and they don't like each other, and then boom, 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 boom.
But are you being sarcastic? Because that is not what's happening. Nobody.
This is what Vince can do well. What I'm saying is that Vince doesn't know how to book a Seth Rollins. He's small. JBL doesn't know what to do with him. He's small. He's probably under 6 foot. How's a guy who's under 6 foot meant to be facing a Braun either Strowman or a Bork Lesberg? No, we gotta have big dudes who are big and fighty. That's what you can do.
Finn Balor. I'm trying to stay a little ready. I'm putting it down here. For people listening to that on the podcast, Luke just tried to sabotage the Money in the Bank lunchbox.
I don't think I knocked it a bit. But anywho, I'm going Bork Lesberg for this. So I think Brock Lesnar is going to retain.
I'm going
pretty much.
Brock too.
I would like to see Joe win, but it's Lesnar's first defense. I don't think he should be losing now. To be honest, I don't think he should be losing it at SummerSlam either. But I think he will lose it at SummerSlam. I think Lesnar's going over here.
Shall I walk you through how I would like this match to play out?
Please do.
To make both guys look as good as possible. They have a killer 10-15 minute match, nothing too long, because Brock's style doesn't lend itself to long drawn out matches. But just like how AJ and Chad Gable had that really nice match on SmackDown this week, they just take each other to the limit.
Yeah.
And a few times Brock is like, Joe kicks out maybe. Brock is like, what do I have to do to beat this guy? And at the end, he doesn't shake his hand, because that's not in Brock's character. It doesn't help him up or anything like that. But he's just it takes a while for Brock to stand up. Joe's flat out. He can't move at the end. Maybe he taps out to the Kimura.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a nice battle of the submissions.
Yes.
And maybe someone tweeted into us, sorry, I can't remember who said it, but they thought maybe a WrestleMania 13 Bret Hart, Steve Austin pass out for Joe would be a good way to lose.
That's how I would do it with Joe. Joe not tapping out, but just like refusing to tap out and then passing out from the pain.
And afterwards, Brock's just quite incredulous looking at Joe's passed out corpse.
Yeah. One of my favourite last man standing matches of all time was Triple H Jericho from... It was in 2000. I can't remember the pay-per-view name now. But it was a pay-per-view in which Triple H had just lost the title at Judgment Day. Oh, no, sorry. He just lost the title to The Rock at King of the Ring, I think it was. And then they were having this awesome match. And it was this blood everywhere. It was a real testament battle. But Triple H did an amazing job of putting Jericho over in his loss. Because it was like Triple H just got up at the count of 10. And then as soon as the bell rang, just fell straight back down and couldn't get up.
That's nice.
All he had in him was to be able to stand up at 10, get the win, and then just collapsed. It was awesome, and that's what I'd like to be able to see with Lesnar Joe, is that Lesnar wins. But yeah, you're right. Just
There's
like
nothing left.
Doesn't just hop back up and just do his little dance and be like, I won. It'd be like, man, I just about won that.
Because Joe will look great.
It will look awesome. Yeah.
I mean, if there's any time to do it. One of my favourite spots in wrestling at the moment, which is a very New Japan spot, and that is maybe 10 minutes into the match, or very near the end, Brock, boom, gives him an F5. Brock stands up, Samoa, so facing the camera, but Samoa Joe stands right up behind him.
Yeah.
And just stares at him in the face, maybe does a spit in the face I like.
Yeah.
And then, that's nothing sexual in my private life. And then Brock maybe F5s him again and then puts him straight in the Kimura. Yeah. And that's how Joe passes out.
That'd be pretty wicked as well.
That'd be pretty good.
Do you know what I really want from this match? I want this to be Brock Goldberg at WrestleMania but at Great Balls of Fire.
But you can
with
go
Samoa
a bit
Joe.
longer.
But you can go a bit
because
longer.
That was a 5-minute match.
Yeah, I'd like to see
be
them go
a bit shortchanged. If
Oh yeah, no, oh yeah, totally. I want to get like, but what I mean is like that level of intensity.
Yes.
Where it's just like two giant forces just colliding at each other. That's what I'm hoping for.
It feel like a big boxing main event.
Absolutely, and I want the commentators to be instructed, like they were at Survivor Series, to call this like a shoot.
Yeah.
And just call it, so that you're not getting your stupid buzzwords and your catchphrases in there. You're talking about technique. You're talking about the two competitors. Conditioning and things like that. Absolutely. You're talking about how much offense people are getting. Treat it like a real fight. That's the way forward for me.
Well, so I'm looking through there. I've actually got a pretty even split because I've got Roman and Seth to win. I'm happy. I'm not going to change any. You going to change any?
No, and I think Brock's sort of a babyface sometimes. He was the babyface at the start of this feud. Anyway, he wasn't a babyface on Raw this week.
There are 2 matches we differ on.
Okay,
so
that'd be
there is going to be. Oh, actually, we could just lose both and could equal out. Well, we'll have to see. Tune in. I guess not next week, though, because I'm away from Monday to Wednesday, but Luke will be taking the reins on WrestleTalk next week. You'll be doing the WrestleTalk news.
Yes, I'm going to be doing I've got to do the Great Balls of Fire.
In 4 minutes.
In 4 minutes. I've got to do Raw in 4 minutes and SmackDown in 4 minutes as well.
So, succinctly.
Yes.
Which you need to work
Hey,
on.
I'm really good at that.
Yeah?
Yeah, sort of.
Your scripts that you give me that are mini Apocalypse Now.
Oh, the video that's going up on Saturday is like 4.5 minutes.
That's a good length.
Thank you.
Good length. So you'll be doing that. But I will be back next Thursday, and then we'll record a sort of Raw, Great Balls of Fire, and SmackDown big recap show.
An extender show.
Like this. So there won't be any podcasts until next Thursday. But after that, hey, we are 3 times a week, baby. Don't know why I said baby. It's the Great Balls of Fire 50s influence on me. Anything else you want to say? How was your first week?
It's been good fun. I've done quite a bit of editing, and I've really enjoyed that. I haven't used editing software in a little while, so it's been good to kind of get back into that.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy a spot of editing, so I'm very much enjoying my time.
Especially when it's yourself.
Well, that's the problem. Yeah, I've got to listen to myself as well. That's more of the issue.
Yeah. It can be quite soul destroying to edit yourself and realise all the horrible mistakes and facial tics.
Yeah.
And stupid voice. The stupid voices that we have.
Anyway, let's sign off.
Click the videos to the left. Is it the left?
That's your right.
It's my right. Click the videos that have just appeared over Luke's face. Anyway, to catch up with the latest episodes of WrestleRamble and the WrestleTalk news, subscribe to WrestleTalk. Go over to iTunes and subscribe to WrestleRamble as a podcast there too. Now we're up. And support WrestleTalk on Patreon. This has been Luke Owen. I've been Oli Davis. And that was Rambling.